1.
Hello everybody, my name is Joshua Moss. Today I want to talk to you about the simple safety process that you should use in order to safely cut a 2x4. Now I know what you're thinking, why do I need to follow a safety process in order to simply cut a 2x4? All I have to do is take a skill saw and cut a 2x4, right? Well, I want you to know that's where you're wrong. This type of thinking usually tends to lead to bad things happening to the skill saw operator. As Technology Associates tells us, there are 125,000 serious injuries every year in the United States alone from skill saw operation. And out of these 125,000 accidents, 90% of those are lacerations and abrasions to the fingers due to mishandling of a skill saw. Now, I've been in the construction industry for over 14 years. Now, along this time, I've built many different things. I've built homes. I've built retaining walls, sidewalks, bridges, box culverts. You name it, I've probably built it. Now, along this way, I've cut thousands and thousands of 2x4s. Now, I've managed to keep all my fingers and my eyesight by following a simple safety process. Now, this process that I follow has 3 stages. First stage is always having the correct safety gear. Second stage is always having safety functions on my equipment that operate properly. Third step is always having a clean, well-maintained area that's clean and clear of debris. So now that we know the process we need to follow, let's look at what we have to use. Our safety gear, first thing we're going to look at is our safety glasses. Now, OSHA says that you should always have side protection for your eyes when they're flying debris in the air, such as whenever you have sawdust flying from a skill saw. Another thing OSHA says we should use are earplugs or earmuffs whenever the noise decibel levels are over 85. And since skill saws operate at 110 noise decibel levels, you're going to need some earplugs or some earmuffs to protect your hearing. Now, another thing that I like to use personally is a pair of well-formed fitting gloves. Now, these are not required, but they're an option, for anybody that wants to use them. Now that we know our safety gear, let's look at our equipment. First thing we'll look at in your equipment is your skill saw and a safety guard. Now, the University of Hawaii at Hilo, they say you should always check your lower safety guard. You want to make sure that it springs back into place just as it should prior to each use. Now, if this guard hangs up or is bent and does not work properly, you should not use the saw. Another thing you don't want to do is to wire or pin your guard back into that position. This is a definite no-no when using a skill saw. You're just asking for an accident to happen. Other thing you want to look at in your equipment is your extension cord. Now, when you're looking at your extension cord, what you're looking for is bare wires exposed somewhere. This will cause an electrocution hazard. As well as you want to make sure that you have all 3 prongs on the end of your cord. Now that we're done with equipment, let's look at our work area. You want to make sure your work area is clean and clear of all debris. You don't want to trip and fall whenever you're using a skill saw. That's the last thing you want to do. So now that we've been over all the things we have to have in our process to cut a 2x4 safely, we've got our safety gear, our equipment works properly, and our area is clean of debris, it's time for us to cut a 2x4. So there you have it. By following this simple 3-step process, it's very easy to cut a 2x4 safely. Now, I want you to remember, it's very easy for you to go about using this simple process and stay safe while using the skill saw. And it's just as easy for you to not follow it and go in an unsafe manner and wind up losing a finger or your eyesight. So I want to ask you, next time you use a skill saw, stay safe and be careful and take your time. And I want to thank you for your time. And my name